So, hello, welcome to my channel. This is actually gonna be a different kind of vlog because usually I do this montage of random videos I take in some random events. So, this 2020 we have been through a lot and we are facing actually the COVID-19 pandemic. Medyo mahirap in the case of the education sector because we need to shift into distance learning. So I figured why not create a vlog series where I will be discussing some lessons for my students. Of course, there are other students as well in different schools who might see this video. So I hope this will help you survive the semester. So before anything else, let me introduce myself. I am Agape May Torres, 18 Philippines. I am Agape May Torres. I am a Media and Information Literacy teacher for senior high school in Aklan, a private school. And I've been teaching MIL for around 4 years, I think. So in this episode, I will be discussing Introduction to Media and Information Literacy. This is just an overview of the concepts of MIL. So without further ado, let's get started! Before anything else, I would like to have a disclaimer. All the views, opinions, and thoughts that I'm going to express here in this channel do not reflect those of the school, my family, or anything that I'm affiliated with. So let's be clear about that. Alright, for this series, we will be discussing media and information literacy. So MIL is a very important subject, especially in this time, wherein all our sources of information will be from the internet, TV, the radio. So it's very essential and it's very important to know the relevance of these media. So try to think of the things you have been doing for the past 5 months, for the past months of the ECQ. How much time have you given or have you spent with your gadgets, your cell phones? How much time do you spend on Facebook? How much information do you get from the internet? What is your main source of information? Or have you made videos of TikToks? Or have you posted memes, your aquariums, succulents? So for the past months, parang na-divert na yung attention natin because we can, go out of our houses and it's very unsafe. So please stay at home. Medyo na-divert na yung attention natin. Puro na tayo internet, puro na tayo Facebook, puro na tayo Twitter or TikTok, Instagram, or whatsoever, Wattpad for others. So try to analyze how much time you spend on those platforms, those sources of information. This ECQ made us very dependent on the internet. So try to imagine if you wake up one morning without Facebook, smartphones, televisions, the radios, newspapers, books. What will be your source of information? Imagine waking up one morning without the internet. What will happen? How will you be able to communicate? Especially in this time, right? It's very important to realize that in this generation, we have been very dependent on technologies. So without all these sources, we will not be informed. But always make sure that the information that you're getting is important, relevant, credible. And that is why it is important to be media and information literate. In this generation, we have been very dependent on technologies. So just imagine if you wake up with nothing as our source of information. It is very important to realize that these technologies, they feed us the information, the entertainment. Technology has made our lives easier and it has given us more access to communication. And all our sources of information rely on these available sources. The technologies, the Facebook, the internet, social media, the broadcast media, and all that. So, introduction to media and information literacy. Now, media is any physical object that is used to communicate media messages, while literacy is the ability to identify, understand, interpret, create, communicate, and compute using printed and written materials associated with varying contexts. Literacy involves a continuum of learning wherein individuals are able to achieve their goals, develop their knowledge and potential, and participate fully in their community and wider society. So technically, media literacy is being able to understand and use media in a proper way. So, ano yung proper way? Do we just get information? Or do we just, access the information? Or do we just listen to these media outlets without even knowing ano yung leaning ng media outlets? What are the strategies that they are using? For example, you see this post from a certain Facebook page. This Facebook page has a wide range of followers. Not because that influencer or that Facebook page has a wide range of followers, papaniwalaan mo na. You need to criticize and to assert whether that information or that certain Facebook page has biases or not. Baka yung information na nilalagay niya lang dyan, yung biases or, those that confirm their beliefs lang. Yun lang, diba? Media literacy, you identify or you are able to criticize or critically understand yung kind of information that you get from a certain media. Ano ba yung mga strategies nila? And does it align to the truth or not? Okay. Next is information. Information is the knowledge of specific events or situations that has been gathered or received by communication or intelligence or news. So, it is the data or in some cases, the news itself, ganun. So, information, balik tayo dun sa literacy. Literacy is knowing how to use things, right? So, therefore, information literacy is having the abilities to recognize when an information is needed, how to locate, evaluate, or effectively use and communicate information in its various formats. For example, not all the information that you get from a certain influencer is credible. So, information literate ka if you know how to criticize that certain information. Do you just share it directly or not? So, dapat ina-analyze muna natin, diba? So, kailangan ba? First, tanongin mo muna sarili mo, kailangan ba? Do you know how to identify if that information is reliable? Then you are information literate. Do you know how to locate that certain information? Alam ko na dito dapat yung ganitong information, diba? For example, the definition. So, saan ba tayo kukuha ng definition? Dun sa dictionary. So, if you know how to do those things and how those things manifest, then you are an information literate individual. Next is technology literacy. Now, technology is any tangible material, a hardware, which is used to create and communicate message with media. Example would be radios, television, cell phones, and that. So, technology literacy is being able to know how to use technologies. Do you know how to use cell phones? Do you know how to use Photoshop? How do we make use of Photoshop in making a very comprehensive information? So you're able to use digital technology or communication tools or networks to locate, evaluate, and create information. Alright. So, with all those definitions, what is media and information literacy now? So, media and information literacy is having the essential competencies and skills that allow citizens to engage with media and other information providers effectively and develop critical thinking. Hindi yung, dahil sinabi ni ganito, isi-share mo na. Hindi yung ganon. Media and information literacy is Before believing in information, you criticize first if that information is credible. Before believing a media outlet, you understand first the strategies that they are using. Kung sakto ba or kung relevant ba siya sa'yo. Or baka merong mga biases. Or merong bang manipulation or, framing or agenda setting. Media and information literacy is also being able to use technologies. And iniintindi mo ba muna yung importance or alam mo ba kung paano gamitin ng tama yung isang technology na yan? So, media information literacy allows you to engage with media and to be critically informed individual. So, if you are aware of the Shannon and Weaver and David Berlow's communication theory, they have this communication model, the SMCR: source, message, channel, and the receiver. So in this case, media will be our source. Information will be our message. Channel is the technology. And the receiver would be us, the audience. So who is responsible? Of course, all of these parts are responsible into making a more critical and informed society. So, bakit importante yung media literacy? Important yung media literacy because it helps us to become a smart consumer. Hindi dahil sabi sa commercial, maganda yung sabon na to, puputi ka in 7 days, papaniwalaan mo na. Diba? It is also important because media has a very important role in shaping a country. What the media says will be spread across different communities. And if those communities will believe the certain information sent by this media, then it could either strengthen the community or break them. Information literacy is important because it helps us to distinguish which among the source is relevant and reliable. Hindi yung share ka lang, hindi naman pala importante. Lahat ng rants sa buhay nila ipopost sa Facebook without even thinking that that information is not relevant. Would it help the community? Would it help your readers? Or would it help the audience? If no, stop. So technology is very important because it saves us the valuable time. So it allows us to do things smoothly, easily, efficiently. Let's try to look at this example here and try to check if you are a media and information literate individual. Sabi dito, President Duterte, opisyal na kinilala bilang the best president sa buong solar system. So, is this information relevant? How do you say that it is relevant? Is the source reliable? Or is it possible for President Duterte to be recognized as the best president in the solar system? Who comprises the solar system? Are there aliens in other parts of the solar system? Or are aliens allowed to vote who is the best president? Or you decide. Alright. So always remember that not all the things that you encounter or you hear or you see or you read from media, especially on the internet, is relevant. Tandaan, hindi lahat ng nakikita, naririnig, or nababasa mo ay totoo. Baka, naloloko ka na. So, ayan. So, thank you so much and I hope meron naman kayong medyo na-learn naman. Sana na-explain ko naman ng maayos sa inyo. Medyo ako hindi ako sure doon sa pinagsasalita ko. But I hope you were able to understand some few things from this episode. That is it for now for the introduction to media information literacy. And this is Ma'am Agape May. I will see you soon.